Do you constantly question everything and search for deeper truth?
Like, genuinely ask yourself that.
Right. Are you the kind of person who finds it almost physically uncomfortable to accept a simple "because I said so" when you're looking at the profound mysteries of existence?
Oh, that "because I said so" is the worst.
It really is. Well, welcome to today's deep dive. We're taking a really close look at Chapter 2 of a book by Akib. It's called The Path Within You.
And specifically, we're focusing on a section titled, Who is Gyan Marg for?
Exactly. Jod is tackling this very specific friction that a lot of analytical thinkers experience when they first approach spirituality. The central premise he works with is this concept of swabhav,
Swapov, yeah.
which is a Sanskrit term. It refers to your innate, fundamental psychological and spiritual temperament. Like, think about a classroom. You have children who learn differently, right? Some by listening, some by doing, some by reading. Jod argues that spiritual paths are not one size fits all.
Right. Forcing a highly logical mind into a paradigm of just unquestioning devotion. It doesn't produce enlightenment. It produces profound cognitive dissonance.
Completely.
What's fascinating here is that the source text focuses entirely on Gyan Marg, which translates to the path of knowledge.
The path of knowledge.
Yeah. In a lot of traditional spiritual circles, the intellect is often treated as a barrier.
Like it's in the way.
Exactly. You hear these variations of surrender your mind or abandon your logic to find the divine.
Which sounds nice, but
But for a specific type of seeker, forcing them to sit in silent meditation or engage in blind devotion is literally like a fish trying to climb a tree.
it just doesn't work.
No, it fundamentally violates their psychological architecture.
Huh.
So this deep dive is really about discovering if the path of relentless inquiry is your natural spiritual home.
Okay, let's unpack this because there feels like an inherent contradiction there.
How so?
Well, traditional spirituality usually relies on the mystical, right? The ineffable.
Yeah.
Things that sit way outside the boundaries of human logic.
Yeah.
So if someone on this path, Gyan Margi, has an allergic reaction to blind faith, how do they navigate a space that usually demands it?
Well, they navigate it by entirely rejecting the premise that faith is the only entry point.
Interesting.
When society says, just believe because God made it so, this type of person immediately asks, yes, but why? How? What is the evidence?
They need the mechanics.
They absolutely need the mechanics. And the text reassures the listener here, if you are this type of person, it is not a spiritual weakness.
It's usually framed as a weakness, though, isn't it? Like you're too cynical.
Exactly. Society labels skeptics as spiritually stunted. But Jod reframes this completely. It is actually your greatest strength. In Gyan Marg, logic isn't rejected. It is elevated to reach the ultimate truth.
So understanding is the destination itself.
Yes.
I just marvel at that idea. They don't need this, massive out-of-body mystical experience first. They just need clarity.
Pristine clarity. There's a brilliant quote from the source by Albert Einstein that I think captures this perfectly.
Oh, lay it on me.
Einstein said, I want to know God's thoughts. The rest are details.
Wow. The rest are details.
Right. He wasn't looking for a comforting dogma. He wanted the fundamental architecture of reality. And if you look closely, Gyan Margis are everywhere.
Like where?
Well, think about a doctor seeking the really deep biological mechanisms of a disease, or a lawyer trying to comprehend the underlying architecture of justice.
Or even a programmer.
Yeah.
Viewing code as the fundamental logic of existence.
Exactly. They are all propelled by this absolute intolerance for the superficial.
Which I guess makes skepticism a kind of superpower.
Oh, a massive asset.
Because we often tell doubters they lack depth.
Yeah.
But you're saying the ancient sages didn't demand belief at all.
No, they demanded rigorous investigation. The text highlights Adi Shankaracharya as a supreme master of this path.
What would he do?
He essentially doubted the reality of the entire visible world. He stripped away everything, the physical body, the mind, the ego, until only the ultimate, unquestionable truth remained.
That is intense. It makes me think about, I have to ask you, the listener, are you the kind of person who lies awake at 3 a.m.?
The classic 3 a.m. existential crisis.
Yes. Staring at the ceiling, wondering if reality is just a simulation, or if time is a complete illusion.
It's like the relentless curiosity of young children.
Exactly. Kids who never, ever stop asking why.
And we usually tell them to stop.
We do, but the text suggests we should lean into it.
The Upanishads themselves begin with those kinds of fearless questions. The text shares the story of young Nachiketa.
Nachiketa.
Yeah, he literally confronted the Lord of Death.
As one does.
Right. And he asks him, point blank, what happens after we die? Does the self continue or dissolve?
He wasn't distracted by anything else.
Not at all. And then there's the philosopher Gargi, who challenged the greatest sages in a public assembly. Asking why and who am I is incredibly powerful because the question itself becomes the spiritual practice.
It's the mantra.
Exactly. The question is the mantra.
Here's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
Because we can look at real-world examples of people who fully embody this path, like historical masters.
We have some incredible historical flashpoints for this.
Ch.2 talks about the sage Yajnavalkya.
Oh, this story is brilliant.
It really is. So Yajnavalkya walks into this massive assembly, and the prize for the wisest person there is 1,000 cows, and their horns are adorned with pure gold.
A literal fortune.
A huge fortune. And before the debate even starts, before a single word is spoken, he tells his students to just take the cows home.
Just pack them up, we're done here.
Exactly. The audacity of that.
But he wasn't doing it out of ego. He just had this absolute structural certainty. And then he proceeded to silence every single opponent with devastating, unassailable clarity.
His weapon was pure understanding.
No passionate rhetoric needed.
Just crystalline logic.
Yeah.
And then there's Nagarjuna. He was a 2nd century Buddhist philosopher.
Yes, the architect of the middle way.
Right, and he used this surgical, absolutely relentless logic to demonstrate that everything is interconnected.
That everything is empty of independent existence.
Yes. He proved mathematically that you can't define the self without the environment that supports it.
He essentially used the intellect to defeat the intellect.
It's amazing.
And we see a much more modern example of this with Swami Vivekananda.
1893.
The Parliament of Religions in Chicago, exactly. He completely electrified the audience there by explaining incredibly complex Eastern philosophy in simple, logical terms.
He didn't hide behind dogma.
No, he famously stated that the infinite library of the universe is in your own mind.
The infinite library of the universe is in your own mind. That is such a powerful statement.
It means you don't need to look outward. The human intellect, turned inward, is fully sufficient.
So what does this all mean for you? If you're listening right now, how could you actually know if you are a Gyan Margi?
Well, Jod gives us a diagnostic for that.
A self-reflection test.
Exactly, derived right from the source material. So, listener, ask yourself, do you draw energy from reading dense books and having really deep analytical conversations?
That's a big indicator.
Huge. Also, do rituals make you restless? If you're told to just follow a tradition without a logical reason, does it make you feel almost claustrophobic?
I know a lot of people who feel exactly that way.
And try this one. Do you feel a deep, almost physical satisfaction when a really complex idea finally clicks into place?
That aha moment.
Yes. And finally, do you actually enjoy questioning your own beliefs? Does finding out you might be wrong excite you rather than threaten you?
If you relate to these traits, the message is so clear. You shouldn't force yourself onto a path of blind devotion.
It's damaging.
It is. Embracing the path of knowledge instead it'll feel like an eagle finally discovering the sky.
This raises an important question, though, which the text draws from the Bhagavad Gita's concept of swabhav.
The innate temperament we talked about.
Right. The warning here is stark. It is far better to follow your own nature imperfectly than to perfectly follow a path that belongs to someone else.
That is so validating.
It really is. If you force an analytical mind into unquestioning devotion, you're slowly suffocating your core nature under the weight of suppressed questions. You have to honor how you're wired.
You absolutely do. We're so conditioned to quiet the mind, to think doubt is a roadblock.
And it's not.
It's really not.
Yeah.
Your relentlessly questioning mind is not a flaw to be fixed. It's a sacred lineage to be embraced. The path of knowledge doesn't ask you to stop thinking.
Not at all.
It asks you to use your thinking to shatter illusions until the truth is all that remains.
Turning the analytical mind into the vehicle for its own liberation.
Beautifully put. If you enjoy this conversation and want to continue this journey of self-discovery, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next chapter of this series.
We've spent this whole time discussing the immense power of relentless questioning. But I want to leave you with one final, lingering thought to mull over. The text tells us that on the day your questioning finally ceases, the ultimate answer will have arrived. But consider this. If your entire spiritual journey is fueled by a desperate need to understand everything, who or what is the you that remains when there is absolutely nothing left to figure out?